Hello and welcome to Massive Schnitzel. On this channel I'm going to show you some of my builds from Minecraft. I use Minecraft pretty much the same way I use Lego, just to build creations and have some fun. So this is based on the Winter Olympics, which is just finished. You can see the Olympic cauldron, which I've just shown there, and I'm going to head over towards the half pipe venue. So Australia did well in this. They won a bronze in the men's competition. You can see the Olympic rings that I've constructed there just using the wool, and you can see the grandstands that the fans are going to sit in during the competition. Now you might notice that I've got snow where the venues are, but outside of that there's sand. It's because I decided to build in the middle of a desert. And the reason, why would you build an Olympic winter venue in the middle of a desert? Well, there's a few reasons. I'll go through them shortly. But first of all, let's go down the half pipe. Here we go. Yes, yes, waiting. And I'm off down the half pipe. Do a trick, do a little spin. There I am. Just imagine that there's a board under my feet. Do a little twirl. What they do, these athletes, is completely unbelievable. So this is the half pipe venue. Now the reason I decided to build in a desert was, firstly, there's no rain, and building when there's rain is just annoying. There's the Olympic cauldron. Building, I wanted big mountains, so I used the sand dunes, and I put snow all over the sand dunes to create snowy mountains. I also wanted a venue that there were no trees, because trees got in the way of the construction. So then I built in the desert and then planted my own trees. Now we're looking down at the moment on top of the luge track, or the bobsleigh track. So let's go in for a closer look. Through the doors and around the corner. Now, I've got here levers, which I've used for those little handles that the luge riders pull themselves back and forth on before they fire themselves down the track. Now, the track's made of wool. You can see some grandstands on the side. The big screen is there as well. Through the chicane there, and around the last turn and across the line. And then you look up at the scoreboard and see what time you've done. And hopefully you can celebrate with some fans. So that's the luge and bobsleigh track. I quite like that. I wasn't going to build it initially because I was a bit over this build because it just took so long putting down all the snow. But in the end, I decided to do it. Really needed it, I felt. So you can see all the trees, all the snow on the trees I had to put in because all of this build was done in the middle of a desert. Now this stadium here, you can see I've used wool on the front for the Olympic colours through the front doors. I really like this venue. This is the hockey stadium. Now I've used a lot of glowstone in here and a lot of glass in the ceiling to get as much light in as I could. So you can see two tiers of seating. The top tier here gets you a good view of the ice, and then down lower we have more seating. Big screens there above the ice in the center. The big problem with this project was initially I built the ice rink out of ice, which seems to make sense, except it was pitch black. I needed to light it up, and it just wouldn't light up without melting the ice. Putting torches, putting glowstone, the ice melt, and I ended up with a swimming pool rather than an ice rink. So I ended up getting rid of all of the ice and putting in snow, which seems to be more resistant to melting. And then I've used wool to mark out the lines on the ice rink, as well as the Olympic rings as well. You can see I've used glass around the edges, spider webs at the back of the goal. I'm pretty happy with this venue. Lots of glowstone, so it's really well lit at night time. Up I come up the ice, shoot a goal. Now over on this side of the arena, we have the benches where the teams would sit while they're competing, and then more seating all the way around this, what I think is a fairly impressive stadium. In an upcoming edition, a video that I'll post over the next couple of weeks, I will show you a huge stadium that I have built as we make our way out of the ice hockey arena. and then on to our next venue. I might just show you the ice hockey venue in full. There you go. It looks okay, I think. I tried to be a little artistic using the Olympic colours there, just to give a bit of variety. Now, our next venue. Oh, here's a villager. A villager. Now, just by coincidence, I happened to build the Olympic venues next to a village, and I've incorporated that into the build. I'll show you that later. So you might see 2 or 3 villagers walking around the Olympic venues. So here's our next venue. This is for curling. Again, like the ice hockey venue, a lot of glowstone and a lot of windows and glass in the ceiling so that we have plenty of light in there, day or night. I had the same problems with the ice melting. So in the end, just use snow and wool to create the ice effect. You can see there's the target that they slide the stones down, trying to aim for, and the Olympic rings. Now, they're not really rings the way I've done, they're more Olympic squares, but yeah, I think it's good enough. Big screen there for all the fans to watch replays and scores or whatever. Not a particularly big venue for the curling, but I'm not sure it's one of the more viewed sports at the Winter Games. There's that villager. You look lost, villager. Where are you going? Are you looking for a venue? Anyway, let's head down towards the village. I didn't even know this village was here when I first started the build. The first venue I did was the upper. Get off the bed! What are you doing? You're on the bed! Come on, you're a professional athlete. What are you doing jumping on beds? So what I did, the first build I did, the first venue I did was the Alpine skiing run. And then I discovered this village and I thought, well, this is going to be perfect. So all I really did was put some snow around it, put some trees around it, and throw some beds into the villagers' homes. Hello. I wonder what his sport is. Maybe some snowboarding. Maybe that's his thing. Let's come up here. Show you in here. We've got tables and chairs are already there. Just pop in a couple of beds. Make it look like a place where someone might stay if they're an Olympic athlete. And I'll shut you back in there. So you can see there's sand. There's sand all around the village. Once you go beyond the borders of the village. What are you doing in the spa? Why is there an athlete in the spa? Shall I join you? I'll join you in the spa. Oh, I went down very deep there. Maybe it's like a sauna. Maybe they're just warming up before their event. It's very jumpy. Right, let's make our way through the Olympic Village. Now, this is going to be the end of the first part of my tour of around the Olympic venues. Very shortly, I'll be posting part 2 of this, so stay tuned.